This is a demonstration of one way to use your databook in regards to plotting your slow fire shots. It is what is known as the shot behind method. This is a method of using memory to ensure that you're maintaining focus on each shot by only writing in your book while the target is being scored in the pits. It might seem a little confusing at first, but after a couple views of this short video, it should start to make enough sense for you to put it into your shot routine for offhand and even slow prone. It is a tremendous aid for helping you learn how to better call your shots, as well as to help you establish and maintain confident zeros. It is also a decent aid in helping you keep track of wind changes as you use this method to notate how much wind you have on the rifle when shooting slow fire prone. It is important that we start and finish with this section of your databook. You'll no doubt have something similar. This is where we record such important information as sight picture. This circle is where we're going to notate what hold we're going to be using for this exercise, which is center mass. You also want to note down the sight settings that you're bringing with you to your practice or match. We'll write these down here. Let's assume that you're planning on coming in with 6 clicks from bottom for your elevation and 1 click left as your no wind zero. Assuming it to be a normal day at the range, with no exceptional conditions such as light, temperature, or otherwise to convince us any different, we'll also transfer these numbers over to our dope used section here. These are the settings that we're going to actually be shooting with for this session. This is the section of your data book that we're primarily going to be concerned with for this exercise, and how to translate what you do and see into not only a history of keeping track of your performance, but as a roadmap to help you make informed decisions as you progress through your string. Here's your target. You put your sights up, you let it settle, and bang, take the shot, and call it. Where the front sight was when the shot broke. After a good follow through, your first action should be to get right to your data book and plot how you called your shot. This is the area where you mark your call. It seemed like a good centered shot, so we'll make a dot inside the call circle to remind you of how you called this shot. As the target comes up, well, that looks a little off. Where you called it center is actually printing a 9 out at 9 o'clock. Right here and now, you're going to want to adjust your gun, assuming you believe your call to be accurate. For the sake of this exercise, let's assume that you have half-minute click adjustable sights, and you decide to come down 1 click and 5 clicks right. Now the target is in the air, so don't waste any time with your shooting book just yet. Get your sights adjusted, and remember this last shot before you get your rifle back up and sight it in on your target. Let it settle, focus on the front sight, and bang, call your shot. Maintain a good follow through and get back to your book. Mark this last call. You called it a tiny bit low and just a little out the left, so you mark your dot. Now you have to notate any adjustments you made on this last shot. This is where you write down any elevation or windage adjustments you just made. You came down 1 click and right 5 clicks. Now it's time to mark your last actual shot value, where the spotting disc was from your previous shot. S denotes this as a sighter, as we plot our first sighter here as we're waiting for the targets to come up from our last shot. Alright, much better. A deep 10 at 8 o'clock. Refer back to our data book, and yes, this is where we called this shot to be. No further adjustments necessary. Let's get back to shooting. We've got our target, we get our rifle up, sights on the target, let it settle, front sight, steady squeeze, and bang. Call your shot. That was a little bit high and a teeny smidge to the left. You get back to your book, plot our call. A little up and a little left. Now we move to our previous shot that we just took, that we just sent back into the pits, a deep 10 at 8 o'clock. Target's up, fairly close to our call, a little up and left. Get your rifle back up, sights on target, front sight, squeeze, and bang. Call your shot. Oh no. Well, that one definitely leaked out a little bit. Go back to our data book and plot our call. This one, a little out, we're calling a wide and high 9 out at 1:30. Now we go straight back to marking our previous shot, which was the 10 we just knocked down. Target's up. Yep, there's that 9 we just shot right on call. Get the rifle up, front sight, and bang. Call your shot. We get back to our data book and we plot our shot. Seemed pretty centered, but maybe a tad low. Now we mark our previous shot, which was a mid-ring 9 at 130. Targets are back up. Nice shot. Still a good X. Rifle up, centered, front sight, and bang. Follow through. Call your shot. It crept up just a little bit as the trigger broke. We go back to our book, plot our call, a tiny bit high, and mark your previous shot. An X at 7 o'clock. Our target's back up in the air. Well, damn, we called that a little high, but it just missed the X-ring out the left. Maybe it's time for one more click. You put another 1 click right on the piece, back on the target, settle, front sight, squeeze, and bang. You called that dead nuts in the middle. Back to our book. Plot your call. We're going to call that one center. And now we have to remember that we moved the sights. Mark our sight adjustment. We moved 1 click right on that shot. Mark our previous shot, a 10 just out at 10, and take a look down range. Pinwheel. Nice shot. For this exercise, this is our last shot. So we go back to our book and mark our final shot. Dead nuts in the middle. Nice work. Now that we've walked our shots into the middle, it's time to do a little math to see how things add up. We want to compare the sight adjustments that we made during our string against what we went on with. This will help us to determine our correct zero. We used the same sight picture, center mass. Looking on the left, we see that we came down 1 click during the string, so our new elevation dope is 5 clicks up from bottom. Looking again at the windage, we see that we came a total of 6 clicks right throughout this string. So our new windage dope, assuming the no wind conditions we established earlier, is a total of 5 clicks right. That's the dope you came off the line with. It's best now to count your dope back off of your rifle to verify that these numbers match up. That's it. This is some good dope for your next string of fire. Best of luck to you in your shooting journey. I hope this helps make better use of your dope book and your time on the range. Thanks for watching.